Well, now here I am at HARROWBEER, standing in the footsteps of an American president. Most of you will know that in August 1945, President Truman landed at the airfield, and it's in this area where he was filmed walking around meeting the crew, the WAFs and the RAF crew who were here at the time. Remembering, of course, that 2 days earlier, 31st of July 1945, the airfield had officially closed. So there were no records in the RAF operational record books of Truman landing. So how did Truman end up landing at RAF HARROWBEER? Well, he had been at the Potsdam conference and was flying back to Plymouth to board the USS Augusta so that he could return to America. Now, as they were flying from Potsdam, they were alerted to the fact that St Morgan, their original landing ground, was covered in fog, whereas HARROWBEER, very much like today, was in glorious sunshine. And when the president heard this, he thought that this was a much better place to land, because obviously it was quite close to Plymouth. So he landed in his aircraft, which was nicknamed Sacred Cow, and they landed here with two other aircraft with his Secretary of State. And they obviously had to wait here for some considerable time, while the cars, which were waiting for them at St Morgan, had to come all the way up through Cornwall, remembering, of course, there was no A38 as we have today, dual carriageway, and the cars of that period are not known for their speed, and so they had to wait some considerable time for the cars to get up here. When they did, a film was shot by one of the party of them driving into Plymouth, and they were originally apparently scheduled to go to Mill Bay to board a boat to go out to the Augusta, but the president changed his mind and asked to go to Coxside, where they would meet an American boat to go out to the Augusta. This annoyed the people of Plymouth apparently, because they were all waiting near Mill Bay, and it was only those few who happened to be at Coxside who got to see the president arriving. So the president got in his boat, went out to the Augusta. Roughly about the same time, King George VI arrived at Mill Bay Station from London, and he got into his launch and was taken out to the Renown, which was also anchored in the Sound. During the afternoon and early evening, the president visited the king visited the president, and then the following day, the king returned to London by train, and the president returned to America aboard the USS Augusta. And that is the story of how we had an American president standing at HARROWBEER.